Okay friends, for this project we're gonna need cardboard, scissors, and a pencil or a pen. The first thing that I want us to pay attention to is the direction of the lines in the cardboard. Cardboard has a natural grain. Do you see those lines going side to side? Let's turn the cardboard so the lines go up and down. We are going to create two rectangles. Now, I have a piece of very straight cardboard that I saved as a ruler. So if you have something like that, trace a line in the direction of the grain. You see how I'm cutting in the same direction as the cardboard grain? I am trying to get a rectangle. So I'm cutting a long strip of cardboard off, and then I'm going to cut out a rectangle out of this. I'm going to use again my piece of cardboard that is very straight. Make my mark and cut out a rectangle. I'm gonna make it a little bit neater because this part over here is a little scrappy. And I have my first rectangle. Your second rectangle needs to have the grain of the cardboard going in the same direction, the long way of the rectangle. I'm going to trace my first rectangle to make my second rectangle. Now you should have two rectangles and an extra piece for your wheels. Now I'm going to use my 3 different size bottle caps. I'm going to put them next to what's going to be the frame of my car to see which one would fit better. Now I'm going to trace the one I chose 4 times for my wheels. And I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to be as neat as I can because they're my wheels. First, I like to cut out the general piece, and then I cut them out neatly so that I don't have all the cardboard in the way. All right, now I have 4 wheels and 2 rectangles. Now I'm going to look at the grain of my cardboard, find the center line, and make a line from the middle to the bottom. On the other piece of cardboard, I want to make a line close to the right edge. I'm going to use my first rectangle as a ruler. I used my finger to measure the width, but if your hands are smaller than mine, you can use your thumb. Now I'm going to draw the location of the slots for the wheels. I want them to be equally distant from the middle, and I want them to be on the other side at the same location. I can even draw an imaginary line down. Again, I am using the grain of the cardboard. I am using those lines that I showed you of the grain of the cardboard to find out where I want these lines to be. That's where my wheels are gonna go. That looks about right. Then I'm going to find the center of all my wheels as best as I can. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna find the center of the wheel and put a dot in it. And then I'm gonna make a line for my slot. Now I am going to cut the slots from the frame of the car. This is gonna be the bottom of the car, where the wheels are gonna go. I'm going to try to cut out the black Sharpie line so that it is wide enough for the other piece of cardboard to fit in. That looks about right. Not too thick and not too thin. Next, I am going to cut out one of the slots in the wheels so that I can test it. I use a Sharpie to make my marks because it gives me about the right thickness for my slots. But if you don't have a Sharpie, you can just use any tool and go over it a few times to make your lines thick. Now I'm going to test it, and it looks like it works. Since I know this wheel worked, I can use it to trace a line on the other 3 wheels. Let's cut the slots from the wheels now. Now I'm going to cut the 3 remaining slots on my car frame. And now I'm going to test them. Put them on. They seem to work fine so far. And there you go, that's your car frame with all 4 wheels. For the next part, Google the side view of any car you want to draw. I'm inspired by the pickup truck at the bottom. We're going to draw the side view of our car above the straight line that we already drew. The bottom part is going to be the other side of the slot. First, I'm going to draw it with a pencil so that I can erase, and then I'm going to trace it with a Sharpie or a permanent marker. You can also get creative here and use any coloring tools you have around your house. You don't have to leave it the color of the cardboard. And then I'm going to cut it out. That's the side of my car. Now, how do I make these two fit together? I need a slot, of course. The frame of the car needs a slot. That's why I drew that long line in the middle. I'm gonna cut out that black Sharpie line and make a slot down here. Of course, that won't fit in because I need a slot on the other cardboard. So I cut my slot. Now I have 2. And look at that, it fit. Now I have all the necessary parts. Now I'm going to look at it from the top. And I'm going to look at the truck that I'm making from the top. It looks a little bit curvy at the bottom and at the top, so I'm going to change my rectangle. Now don't cut too close to the wheels or it can fall apart. From here on is just adding details. Now look at the bottom. I don't really like that corner, so I'm going to cut it off. I also don't like the back corner, so I'm going to cut it off as well. Friends, the key to success is engaging and persisting. Don't give up. It doesn't matter if you don't like it, get rid of that piece, cut a new slot. If you don't like it, do it again. This is a learning process. You're probably not going to get what you want on your first try. Now I'm going to make my circles look a little bit more like car wheels. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm going to make my drawing on the other side of the cardboard. I'm constantly flipping it back and forth so I can see what I did on the other side. And when you're happy with all your parts, you put it all together. And we are finished. Okay, actually, I want to show you one last thing I recently learned. If you mix instant coffee with a little bit of water, it creates a natural dye, and you can use that to paint your car. You can also do it with regular coffee, but it has to be very concentrated. A lot of coffee and a tiny bit of water. You don't have a brush? No problem. No Q-tip? No problem. How about a piece of paper towel? You'll notice that the more times you go over it, the darker the color gets. And here is my finished cardboard slot puzzle truck. I can't wait to see what kind of vehicle you create.